Yeah. Well, thank you. And I'd like to thank North Shore TV and Erica for sharing this space and their time with me and allowing me to come on and tell you about what I do and how I do it. So a lot of times my artwork is photography, and I consider photography the art of capturing an image and creating that image and shaping that image with light, as we have all around us. Because without light, there's no image. So I'm going to show you today a little demonstration of a still life. Kind of as you saw just previously, a lot of the images I take are still life, and a lot of them are motion. So the still life, it's kind of one of my favorites because you can manipulate it so much. Unlike a person who kind of gets cranky and tired after a little while of holding their arm in a certain position, still life just sits there. So what we're going to use is a couple of battery lights. I have two here. I brought two. Keep it small, keep it contained. I have a camera here, and I brought a couple of different lenses, and I do believe I'm going to use this lens, which is a 100mm macro lens, for this image. And we're going to do a little setup here with our different fruits and some flowers using this white table that helps us reflect light, and we're going to light it and come up with a little image we can hopefully be proud of. Okay, so let me put this lens on first, and we'll start looking at things. Now I'm going to set my camera up here, so it's all going to be based on this, because I don't want to put the lights directly into the cameras here, because that wouldn't be a good thing, and I would be reprimanded for it. I'm going to put these away. Okay. Now, I think what we want to focus on is maybe some of these raspberries here. So we're going to make these what we could consider the hero. So let's take a few of them and arrange them nicely so that they look interesting. They look, if I may quote the famous Bob Ross, they look happy. So I'm going to put some of these right here, and I'm going to scatter a few of them around. Okay? Now, when you're doing things like tabletop images, often what you want to do is surround your main subject, your hero, with other interesting things that are in the background or in the foreground, not featured, but seen. So we're going to put a little tomato here. Yeah, orange, a lime, Let's see if we can get them to stay. That's one of the tricky parts with everything being round, but we like it though. We'll do something like this. Okay. Here. The pears got a little beaten up on the drive here, so I apologize for that. But it's a long trip. And if you've ever driven the parkways during rush hour, you know it's a long trip. All right, so we got a little something going on here. I think we got a little something. You can decorate with a little foreground action. And it's all about just keeping stuff clean and simple. I have some grapes, and if we don't use them, we can eat them. That's the nice thing about using food as a prop. You get to eat it. I don't know if you were paying much attention, when the video was running, but the food that was on that video demonstration I set all that up myself, and actually I made it, the pizza and the other little items. So let's see how we're doing here. I'm going to take a peek inside the lens, and I'm going to see what we've got here. Then all right, so now I'm going to so as I look here, I see there's too much white space here. So I took a test shot, and now I'm going to start filling in and really creating what I want to create. And maybe when this is done, I can give you the card and you can see what I've done. We'll see if that works out. Not sure if it will. And I'm also going to keep moving the camera until I get it just really where I want. And as a still life of kind of a product photographer that we're doing here, the product being raspberries, what you want is you want to bring the attention into your subject. And how are you going to do that? Focus, lighting, and I guess the way it's all laid out. So let's see here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. And I want to start filling in some of these. I don't know if you can see here, there's some white areas here that I want to fill in. Okay. I'm going to fill them in carefully here. Take a couple of these just to add a little bit more interest to it. This is a great studio here. I don't know if you guys watching have ever been here, but it's actually a great studio. Tricky to find, but it's a great studio once you get here. So I'm going to I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'm going to see if I can get this over here so you can see it. Is this, let's see that. So this is what we've got so far, and we're getting there. We just have to keep, fill in a little of this empty space here. And I want to make this stuff pop just a little bit more, okay? So let's keep going. I think what we need is a couple more little pieces of interest here. And hopefully these berries are going to be pretty on camera. And here's another little shot, if you can see that over here. I'm not sure. So we're getting there. We just have to keep tweaking it until we feel it's as close to perfect as we'll get. Yeah, I think what I want to do with this is I want to come a little lower to really get into it. Now let's take a look. I think I want to move and separate this from the background just a bit more. Okay? And here's our berries. This is a little bit too much. It's taking away from the berries. Move that out a little bit. So we'll give you an updated look to see what we've got. And here's an updated look for you. As you can see. So we're filling in the area, and we just keep playing around. And ultimately what I want this picture to be is the same as I have envisioned in my head as how this should look. Get this out of the way. Let's move in just a little more. And move over the tripod a little bit more. Let's see what we got. Just a little more. It's an art, not a science, remember? So, in order to get it just the way I think it should be, there's a lot of little tweaks that have to happen. See, now we're starting to get it in there. Yes. Okay. Let's see that. So as you can see if I can get this so you can see it, what I'm doing here. This is, all right, so we're getting in there. See how it's filling up the screen, and this is our hero, the berries, and all this stuff is just in there letting you know it's there, but you don't want to focus on it because this is what we're trying to make people focus on, okay? And it all depends on what you're trying to get the focus on. Get this in there properly because I can't see very good here. Yeah, all right. Fumbling around a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Now, I'm going to take a couple of seconds and I can't do that. Okay, I wanted to show you what was on the card right now. But I don't have a place to plug my laptop in, so we'll just keep going like this. All right. I'll give you another look at it. See if you can see that. Okay. So we got a very hot spot here on this tomato, which we're going to try to take that away because that's really blasting and taking my eye away from the berries and onto the tomato. So let me see what I can do with that. Get this in. Got to get this slid right in there perfectly. Otherwise it wiggles. Let me come back to that. I'm going to try to do this right now. Yeah, that looks like it's better. Now let me get this back on here. There we go. Now let's see. Okay. And I'll show you again. Okay. See if I can show you again that we took a lot of that highlight off of the tomato. It's coming down a little bit. Just have to keep that little fine tuning. It's a lot of fine tuning. So let me just keep working with this tomato. And we can move the lights too. I'm going to just bring this a little bit this way. And I'll show you one more here. Let's take a look, see if we get it. And I want to put this over here and a couple more here. Add a little visual looks. All right, can do one more. See? So it's coming along little by little. This is actually still a little hot over here, but it looks more so to your cameras here than it does on my screen here. So it's getting there, and we just keep fine-tuning it to the point where we get it right. Now, I happen to like doing tabletop photography, And it's something you can really spend a lot of time with, or you can do rather quickly, depending on your needs and your time frame. If you're pressed for time, you can get it fairly quickly and move on. If you've got time to spend, keep spending time with it. Just keep going, keep going. Like a painter would go back to the palette constantly and retouch and retouch and retouch. That's what we're doing here. It's the same thing as thinking to yourself, well, we're painting something here, but there's just something that needs a little more or a little less, and we just keep going back and touching it up. So that's what we're doing here. We're just doing it in the camera itself right here. So if we've got one more in here. And then, of course, you can always play around with the light. This is a little unorthodox system, but I've got the napkin that I washed the grapes with, and I'm going to just throw that over this light a little bit to take some of that light down a little bit, because it's a little too much in one spot. And I think that might help us. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Show you, see if we can show you this one. Oh, so it's coming in, still that little spot over here, up in the top of the tomato over here, you see, coming in. But the berries are looking very good. The background, the grapes are looking nice. The green leaf I like. What else? We can zoom into it a little bit if we want, and we can really look. So, and here's how the berries are looking very good. All right, so let's go back now and see if we can get this one more. Maybe what we do is we'll try to take a little attention off that tomato by putting something with it over there. A little green, a little something that won't reflect as much and take away from our main shot. Just come up just a little bit. Yeah. Good. This, so we're getting a little something here. So we want to take this maybe a little off there. Too much lights. Let's take a look at this one. So there we have a little something, and now you see that there's a light somewhere that's going too much here, right in this area here. And that was where our tomato was being hit, and that's now where our, I believe it's a tulip, and the green is being hit. So we would like to ultimately take it down here, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. So what we're going to do is say that, as I was saying, like a painter with a palette, you keep adjusting, maybe a little here, a little there. But all in all, I think you guys maybe got a general idea of what a tabletop artist, still life artist does here. And once again, I'll give you a quick look at the screen here. And let's see, can I get you in? There we go. So and you can see how the berries are the focus, but there's everything else in there, but your attention is brought to the berries. And that's what our goal here today was, to give you a lesson of how to do this. And you may find it a good time. You may say, I never want to see a table full of fruit again in my life. That's your decision, not mine. I happen to like it. And like I said, a lot of times, I try not to, when I'm doing food photography, I try not to put heavy oils and gels on it, because then you've ruined the fruit. You know, you can't eat it. I enjoy taking pictures of it for a while and snacking on it later on. That's the way I like to do things. So if you are interested in this, you can reach out to me. I guess my email, cineshooter, CINESHOOTER @gmail. Or you can just go to the library, go to Barnes & Noble, go anywhere, and there's lots of books and internet pictures that you can search, and that'll help you find different ways to do this. But I like to do it. I hope I gave you some information. I hope you enjoyed it. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody here at North Shore TV for bringing me here, allowing me to come into your homes today. And we're just going to probably roll out by me playing with shots, if that's okay with everybody. It's just a different one I may have done. So I don't know if you guys like that better or what. It's subjective. And that's the beauty of art. It's subjective. The art work allows you, the viewer, the artist viewer, to take a peek inside the artist's head, possibly the artist's soul. I take that off because I'm driving your monitor here crazy with the reflections. So, and once again, if you have questions, reach out to me. I'll try to answer them the best I can. If you say you enjoyed it, that's fine. If you say you didn't, okay, I understand. But we gave it a shot, and I hope you can give it a shot. All you need is a camera, a table full of fruit, and some daylight, or some artificial daylight. The worst part of this job is cleaning up. So we're going to clean up now, and I want to thank everyone and have a nice afternoon.